So Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming this October, and what better way to get into the mood than to play some original Red Dead Redemption. And maybe you want to go online with it, maybe for nostalgia, or just to see what it's like. But what can we actually expect from the multiplayer 8 years after its release? Has it held up well like how people remember Modern Warfare 2? Or has it been overrun with cheaters like GTA 5? Now, just putting this disclaimer up now, everything in this video is based off my experiences with Red Dead Redemption multiplayer. Just so people know, for this video I'm using the Undead Nightmare version of the game on an original Xbox One, because the Undead Nightmare version of the game comes bundled with all DLC on disc, even if you don't own it digitally. Now, I won't be covering single player at all in this video, since the single player still holds up amazingly to this day and is worth buying Redemption for alone. But anyway, let's begin. It's not a very good start because right off the bat I instantly had an issue with the multiplayer just not loading. A very common issue on Red Dead Redemption is that, well, the multiplayer will just not load at all. Instead you'll be seeing a never-ending loading screen, and the fact that this is on Google's top searches shows that it's not a rare issue and is rather game-breaking, because you have to basically restart the entire game. Now, a workaround for this is to load into single player first, then start a private lobby and then go into public through there. I think that this is also kind of ironic, because I've seen some people say that doing this kind of thing on GTA 5 puts them into GTA Online faster. I really hope that's not going to be like this in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, while this works, it should not have to be like that, ever. Even then, it's not a guarantee that the issue will disappear for your session, like I've experienced the never-ending loading screen after going into the Outfitter to change my character. Now, once again, that can be easily fixed by going into a private lobby, but that is really a major annoyance, especially for something incredibly minor. Imagine if this happened every time you wanted to change clothes in GTA Online, or create a class in Call of Duty. Another issue I've noticed is invisible players. Now, after actually searching this issue up, apparently this bug might actually be exclusive to the Xbox versions, although I can't verify that. Anyway, much like the infinite loading issue, it's a common issue and it really does make deathmatches and free mode to an extent unplayable. Like, look at this clip I recorded. The radar says there's 2 players next to me, but on my screen there is nobody next to me, and I can't tell if they're shooting at me or being friendly or whatever. Now, as for player count, it's quite difficult to estimate the amount of players online at any given time. However, since the Xbox version is playable on both Xbox 360 and Xbox One, while the PlayStation version is only available on the PlayStation 3, it's assumed that the Xbox version has a much higher player count. Now, while on the subject of players, I have actually been unable to find any full lobbies during afternoons and early mornings over here in the UK. Like, when I get into free mode, I'm usually put into a lobby with about 5 other people, max. However, since I'm in the UK, I've noticed peak hours are probably around 9 PM to 1 AM, as that's the time Europeans are probably enjoying some late night gaming, while Americans are just getting home from school and work. Now, one thing Red Dead Redemption does differently compared to GTA Online is that it has 3 versions of free mode, which are normal, friendly and hardcore. Now, this is what I really like about Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer, and I'm still really gutted that they never kept this for GTA Online, at least the friendly lobby anyway. I know GTA Online still has the hardcore lobbies. But one common complaint I've seen about GTA Online is how many people hate being killed by somebody, usually for no reason. And while passive mode is Rockstar's solution to it, I still believe Red Dead Redemption did this perfectly with their friendly lobby system. You see, if you enter passive mode in GTA Online, you cannot be targeted or killed by other players, and you'll probably get called a pussy by some 12-year-old prick in a Hydra. But you cannot use your guns, meaning you're unable to defend yourself if you get a wanted level or initiate a gang attack. However, Red Dead Redemption's friendly lobbies are basically like the normal lobbies, but without the player versus player aspect, so you're free to run around and use your weapons, you just cannot kill other players, which is much better than, well, not being able to use your weapons at all. Because imagine if, in Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer, you went into a friendly lobby but you couldn't use any weapons, you get a wanted level, or shall I say, bounty, and you can't use your weapons. It's annoying. Anyway, I really do hope Rockstar bring this back for Red Dead Redemption 2's multiplayer, as I'll admit, sometimes you just want to fight random people, or sometimes you just want to relax and mess around with a few friends without the annoyance of being killed by somebody for no reason. Or maybe you just want to enjoy the map Rockstar have created. Now, on the subject of cheaters and modders, I can honestly say I haven't met many. I have met a few in deathmatches, but none in free mode. Well, I don't know if this is a glitch or a cheat or what you're seeing on screen now. But they're not as obvious as they are in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or GTA 5 on the Xbox 360. Most players appear to be legit, or maybe I just got lucky. Now, as I mentioned, most of the cheaters I encountered were actually in deathmatches. And no, I don't mean like, oh, this person killed me 3 times in a row, he's a cheating bastard. I mean people who are invincible, people who somehow fired 10 bullets out of a sawed-off shotgun without reloading, that kind of cheating. However, it's not as bad as it is in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Like, out of the 8 deathmatches I played, 2 of them had cheaters, and in one of the matches, the cheater was actually kicked from the match, which is always nice to see because sometimes people always keep the cheater on their team, just so they can actually win. However, I'm completely sure deathmatches are broken. Like, for example, when I tried to load up a gang match, there were 4 players. It took 3 minutes and 23 seconds to load a deathmatch for 4 people. Now, I know somebody will say, it's your internet, it's shit. But if it was, it would have loaded up halfway through the deathmatch, and not at the standoff that happens at the beginning of every deathmatch. Or I wouldn't have spawned in and I would have been stuck spectating instead. Secondly as well, I've never had these issues with games like Call of Duty, Killing Floor 2 or even GTA Online. So to me it seems like a Red Dead Redemption specific issue. Now secondly, I noticed when I killed people, the game didn't register it as my kill. Instead they registered it as a suicide, which didn't give my team any points. Now thirdly, Deadeye is an absolute bastard in this. If you have Deadeye, you're pretty much golden. Just hope someone doesn't notice you, equip your rifle, and you've got a very easy kill. Well, if the game is feeling generous and doesn't count it as a suicide. And then, of course, the invisible players bug happens, which renders the entire deathmatch unplayable for everybody. Now one thing I still really like in Red Dead Redemption's combat is how balanced the rolling is. Like in GTA Online, it's very common to see somebody rolling in a deathmatch, as this breaks any lock-ons a possible attacker has. But in GTA Online, this can be pretty much spammed with a 1-second break in between, while the rolling in Red Dead Redemption Online has a cooldown of 2 seconds, so any possible attacker has the chance to relock onto you and you have the chance to kill them before they kill you. So any GTA deathmatcher who is so used to spamming the f*** out of rolls will probably get their arse handed to them in a Red Dead deathmatch. Now going back to free mode, I feel that the amount of content that's been added to Grand Theft Auto Online has spoiled me quite a lot. Like in the fact that in GTA Online we can do our drug smuggling, daily objectives, stunting, bounty hunting, and a load more activities to name some. Now whether you like these features or not, there's no denying that it's certainly added replayability to GTA Online. But in Red Dead's multiplayer we don't really have much to do outside of fighting other players and gang attacks. Like we don't have drug smuggling and we don't have homes to buy, and stuff like that. The free mode is very basic. Now some of you might actually prefer that since GTA Online's free mode seems to rely rather heavily on playing the game for a really long time, or buying shark cards, or being invited by a friend or crew member to help them out, while the activities in Red Dead's multiplayer are pretty much available for everybody right off the bat. Now while trying to search for a match in a co-op mission, I didn't find anyone. I actually waited here for about 5 minutes while I went downstairs to get myself a drink, and when I came back up I still didn't find anybody for a co-op match. However, co-op missions are insanely fun with friends and not random players, especially since random players can be, well, a headache, and that's putting it politely, going off my experiences in GTA Online. Now initially, for this review, I actually wanted to do an overview of all of the game modes that Red Dead multiplayer has available, but the issue with that is, well, I just couldn't find many people at all. Like I mentioned, with the co-op ones, I couldn't find anybody willing to play that. When I did Grand Prix, nobody was willing to join that either. So it makes me question how big the player base actually is. Now bear in mind that this was done out of peak hours. I should imagine that in peak hours it should be fine, but for the most part it's still, makes me wonder how many people are playing Red Dead multiplayer in 2018. The only modes that I could actually find matches for, regardless of time, were death matches and Undead Overrun. Now speaking of Undead Overrun, it's still my favourite game mode out of everything available. However, I wonder how many people are actually playing Undead Overrun. It's probably not many, considering that you need to have Undead Nightmare purchased or to be playing off the Undead Nightmare disc. It's a shame really. I still find Undead Overrun to be really fun because of how basic it all is. No Easter eggs, no purchases. At peak hours though, it shouldn't be hard to find any match at all with a full lobby. Now as I said, it's really fun, and nothing is better than seeing the undead getting smited by God himself using the holy water. Now overall, I think the state of Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer, at least on Xbox, is in a very poor state. While the game itself is absolutely amazing, and it's such a shame to see the multiplayer fall so far downhill with all kinds of issues, I think however, although it's very unlikely, if Rockstar made one more patch just to fix the invisible players issue, and possibly fix the infinite loading issue, it'd greatly enhance the multiplayer in my opinion, since then we can have proper death matches and some really good free mode experiences. So overall, I can't really recommend Red Dead Redemption multiplayer in 2018. I really think that it'll probably flatline when Red Dead Redemption 2 gets here. But if you really want to have a good experience with Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer, make sure you have a load of friends and a private lobby. That's probably the best way to experience Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer in 2018. So that's my video for today, and hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.